All right, let's carry on with part number 8 of the graphical user interface. We left off with clicking the picture, and when we click the picture, we want to run some code. And the code is this class that we're going to use here called a message box. And the message box can do a few things. And one of the things it can do is it can show something. And what is it going to show? It's going to say meow meow. And that's it. That's all what's going to happen when I click on the message box. So let's compile it and let's run it. And the program will open here in a second, and there it is. So when I click this face, this picture box face, it should display meow meow, and there it is. So what this message box does is it's a class within the .NET framework that creates this little message box and allows you to put in a message in here. And in this case, we can just say OK, and it will disappear there. All right, so from there, if you want, there's other options in here under. Let's see, I can't make a change to my code while I'm still running it, so I got to stop the debugger, and now I should be able to go back into my code and make changes. So there's other things I can do in here. I could type in another part of this, like a title. This is my cat's message, and what that's going to do when I run it again is you'll see here that should come up as cat's message as the title. So again, if I click on the cat's picture, it says cat's message. So you can see how I've modified the message box to include not just the message meow meow, but also the title called cat's message. And there's a lot of things you can do in subtleties that we'll look at as we progress through the course. All right, so if we were to go back now into the original, you can see here if I click on that, it does essentially the same thing. So we're duplicating the functionality behind this. All right, let's move on to the next command button, which is the clear button. So again, if you look at the functionality behind this, it's when I click on all of these buttons and I generate a bunch of stuff on the screen, I want to reset the form. So when I click on clear, the functionality here is it takes this particular label control, makes it invisible, makes this invisible, takes the text here, makes it invisible, and so those three to start with. So that's what we want this clear button to do. Again, if we were to see those three changes, if I click clear, it makes those two invisible and makes this one invisible. So that's that functionality of the program that we want to do. So from there, what I'm going to do is I want to code that particular button. So I'm going to double click on it. And the first thing I want to do is I want to take label number 1. So I'm going to take that label hello world, and I'm going to take its visible property. So I'm going to say visible is equal to false. And don't forget to put in the colon. Do basically the same thing for the second one, hello world number 2 dot visible, and make that equal to false as well. Now, the last one we have to do is that hello world command button. So that's a button, we know that. So it's a button, and it's a hello world 3, so I can go down here. And the property is, if you remember, it's the text property. And we want it to equal nothing. So I'm going to put in quote, quote, which stands for nothing. And don't forget to put in the exclamation mark, or the semicolon. All right, so when I click on the clear button, it should clear and clear it out again. So let's run it and see if that works. All right, so we've got our hello world, yes, hello world, yes. This one works just like the design. If I click on clear, delete, delete, and delete. So it functions exactly as we want. All right, so I'm going to finish off the video there, and we'll wrap this up in the last video.